Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Chuck, and I'm from Mars. Oh wait, that's the name of today's bike. We're going to talk about electric bicycles today. It's kind of a Electric Bikes 101. We're talking about one of my favorite electric bicycles, the Heybike Mars. Great model, whole bunch of extras and features we're going to talk about today. Basically everything you're going to need or want in an electric bicycle. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why this is one of my favorite e-bikes, they call them, in the entire universe. Actually, it's one of the most popular bikes on the planet Mars, too. If not the most popular bike on the planet Mars. So let's talk about this thing. This is sponsored by Heybike. So Heybike, thank you for shipping this over to us. We've had a great time on it. We've taken it on all kinds of adventures. We've been to the beach. We've done some trail riding. Street riding, of course. We've taken it to our favorite restaurants, and everyone's asking about this thing. What is the deal? Why does it look like this? What can it do? And I'm doing demonstrations in the middle of my dinner, so thanks for that. No, it's fun. We don't mind doing it at all. I want to spread this electric bike thing because it's huge. It's one of the biggest things on the planet right now. Let's talk about this thing. Number one advantage of the Heybike Mars. It comes fully assembled. This is the big box. I'm going to show you some pictures of my experience with this bike. I got it, shipped it to my apartment. We're in an apartment right now. And it's a smaller box. Normally the e-bike boxes are about the length of this piece of furniture. This one's a little smaller. And there's a reason for that. But the coolest thing about it is you take it out of the box and you got to tighten a couple of screws and bolts and you're good to go. This is insane. They can put a fully assembled bicycle in a box and ship it from and to anywhere in the world. To me, that's crazy. And the logistics involved in this are just mind-blowing. I'm actually not smart enough to figure out how to do this. But in this box, completely assembled, you pull it out, you drag it out. Helpful if you have two people. I actually have an unboxing video on our social media. You can check that out. See exactly what we went through, how we went through this. I'd show B-roll, but every time I show B-roll on Amazon Live, I get in trouble. So I'm not doing that today. I'm just going to tell you about that experience. And let's take a look. Why? How can they possibly do this? How can they put a fully assembled bike in a box and ship it anywhere in the world? One reason. It's foldable. What does that look like? It looks like a transformer that just got beat up, doesn't it? That's essentially what this is. This bike is a transformer. It goes from one neat little package you can fold up and throw in your trunk in some cars. You can put two of these in the back of the average SUV. That is a game changer, because if your bike is foldable, you could take it with you anywhere you want. All those places you've always wanted to ride your bike. Say you live like an hour or two from the beach. Too far to ride to the beach, right? What do you do when you get to the beach? You rent a bike. But you have a bike at home, so why would you rent a bike? Wouldn't you rather ride your own Heybike Mars on the beach? I would. I've got all my accessories, all my stuff. I know it. I can feel it. I'm comfortable on it. I know it's safe. I know it's well maintained. I know it works. Right? So now you can pop these guys in the back of your car. In most SUVs, again, you can take two of them in the average SUV and just go wherever you want. Now you can go to the beach. You can go to your favorite park. If you want to drive to the mountains, you could do that. A lot of people throw these in the back of RVs, which is what we are planning to do. That's our next adventure. We're doing the cruise thing. A lot of you know us from our cruise channel. And we are leaving on a cruise next Friday, Wonder of the Seas, out of Fort Lauderdale. The first ever. It's the inaugural trip, so we'll be on that. Actually, we may do an Amazon Live from that ship. So make sure you click that follow button if you haven't already. Where is it? I don't know where it is anymore. They move everything. I don't know where it is. But I click that follow button, you get notified every time we go live. And also, we're going to start an RV channel. And we will do RV accessories and living tips right here on Amazon Live. So that'll be a lot of fun, too. A lot of people are getting into that. We're getting a little older, especially Felicia. You know, she's really getting up there in the years.
Ouch.
So we really want to take her out and let her see some of America before, you know, she just can't move anymore. So anyway, this electric bicycle is a great fit for, do you love this? You rode this at the beach the other day.
I love that.
It's a great size, isn't it? How's the ride?
It's perfect. It's a great ride.
Plenty fast enough?
Way fast enough.
We'll talk about how fast they go. We'll talk about the motors. We'll talk about the different classes. We'll talk about, I got a lot of stuff coming up. If you have questions, there is a chat. We're only broadcasting this on Amazon today. We're not on our other social channels, so If you're here, you know what's up. You could chat with us, ask questions. We'll do our best to answer those questions live in real time. This is live. It's a live show. What time is it? It's 3:05 Eastern time. What time does your watch say? All right, so it's foldable, and we're going to fold this in a bit. And I'm going to show you how this exactly works, and it's going to blow your mind. 500 watt brushless gear motor. So look, if you want to fix your hair on an e-bike trip, you can't do that because there's no brush in this motor. All right, that makes no sense. But brushless means it's a better motor. You know, in some electric motors, they have these brushes and they create friction, which uses more power. It takes energy away from what you want it to do, and it also it shortens the life of the motor. So now they've come to better technology called brushless technology, and that is in this motor. 500 watts, sounds like a hairdryer, right? A tremendous amount of power, enough to get you up to 20 miles an hour. Now, people say, well, 20 miles an hour, I'm used to driving 20 miles an hour. That's crawling like a snail. But I'm telling you, when you're on a bicycle, 20 miles an hour is a nice clip. It's pretty good. Some of these bicycles can go up to 28 miles an hour. So I'm saving you some of that grief, because if you wreck at 28 miles an hour, it's not going to be pretty. All right, we'll talk about safety and the rest of those features a little later. This is considered a Class 2 electric bicycle. There's 3 classes, and they might vary a little bit depending on what country you're watching us from and what state you're in. Now, the difference is Class 1 is pedal assist only, meaning it has a motor, but it only kicks in when you pedal. It does not have a throttle. A throttle is like a motorcycle where you twist it and it gives it gas. In this case, it's electricity. Class 2, pedal assist and a throttle, but up to about 20 or 22 miles an hour, depending on where you are. This fits snugly in Class 2. Pedal assist and goes up to about 20. I've actually had this a little faster. I'll show you that later. And the Class 3 is the same as the Class 2, only the Class 3 will go up to 28 miles an hour. And again, 20 is fast, 28 is scary if you're mortal like Felicia and I. You know what I mean? If you're 20 years old, you don't care and you just want to ride like the wind, you know, you're going to bounce when you fall. It doesn't happen when you get older, so enjoy your youth. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of older people are buying these things. Why? Because the motor helps you get places where you couldn't get before. It helps you go further. It helps you ride longer. It helps you exercise more. Plus some of the hills you couldn't get up before because it's hard to pedal. When you have the wind, we're here in the east coast of Florida. There's always a wind coming off the ocean or one way or another, and it's always blowing one way or another. Sometimes when it's behind your back, it's great, but then you got to turn around. Remember, most bike trips are round trip. You got to take it home. And that wind's blowing in your face at 20 miles an hour. It's going to make it brutal to pedal. That's where the electric assist comes in and really is a game changer. So this guy, Class 2, up to about 20 miles an hour, 500 watts. You can't get bigger. Do you need bigger? Probably not for most people. Now again, if you're a stunt rider, you're 20 years old, you don't care about life, get 1,000 watts. I don't care what you do, but if you're mortal and you have common sense, then 500 watts is probably all you're going to ever need. All right, more features. 3 modes of power. We talked about that. You can pedal only. First and foremost, this is a bicycle. You don't have to use the battery. You don't have to use the motor. You can get on this thing and start pedaling like a crazy person because it is a bicycle first and foremost. All right, so that's pedal only. Number 2, pedal assist. That is where the motor detects your pedaling through something called a cadence sensor. There's little magnets down here. And it says, all right, this person has passed 5, 6 magnets. Well, now I know they intend to pedal. They want to go. So let me kick in. I'm going to give them a little extra power and help them along. And you can set that pedal assist on this thing. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. You can do just a little pedal assist or you do a lot of pedal assist. Whatever you want to do, you can set it here on this onboard computer that's built into just about every e-bike when you have pedal assist. So you have pedal only, pedal assist, and number 3, you can do a combination of pedaling, you can do pedal assist, and you can do throttle. So you can start pedaling, then you can kick in your pedal assist, and if you get tired, go full throttle. You don't have to pedal at all. That's crazy. It's like a motorcycle or a scooter. How cool is that? This is next level stuff, okay? It's going to enable you to become Superman and go places you've never been able to go before. Do you know what I'm talking about right now? This is the future of transportation. Sell your car. Get rid of your boat. You don't need them anymore. All you need is an electric bike. All right, I get really excited when I start talking about this. All right, 3 modes. Pedal only, pedal assist, throttle. That's a class 2 or class 3. Of course, this is a class 2, so you'll have all 3 of those modes up to about 20-ish miles an hour. All right, how about the battery? Who is that guy, and what's that on his chin? You can't see that at home, can you? No good. Okay, so this has a 48-volt, 12.5 amp hour removable lithium-ion battery, and I'll show you how to take that out. It's removable. You can take it out. You can charge it while it's on the bike, or you can charge it in your home and leave your bike in the garage or downstairs or chained up. Actually, you could take the battery out if you go out to eat and you chain your bike up and you don't want to leave your battery because the battery has a street value. You know what I'm talking about? So you can take that out. It's completely removable, real easy to put in. It comes in a little rail. And again, we'll go through all this. I'll show you all this. Maximum range. Now, I hate answering this question because every time I answer, people ask me, how far is this going to go on a single charge? And that is impossible to answer. Why? Because there are way too many variables involved. And I will show you what those variables, and then you'll understand. People are like, well, you should be able to tell me how far and how fast it could go. No, you can't do that because it's impossible. It's really impossible because there's so many different factors. But at a full charge, perfect conditions, nice flat area, no wind, proper tire inflation, and you weigh 100 pounds like Felicia, you could probably go 48 miles if you're pedaling along with it. The lower end of that, if you go throttle only, it might be 20, maybe a little bit less. If you're 400 pounds, you're actually over the weight limit. I think this caps out at about 330. If you're going up a lot of hills, that's going to do, if you floor it every time you hit the throttle and you don't intend to pedal, that's going to affect your battery life and your range. So let's look at some of those factors. We'll do that in a second. All right, 7-speed Shimano shifter. So this here, come over here and show these people. Fly over here, Felicia, and show these people all these cool features on this amazing bike. Don't trip. All right, so you've got state-of-the-art Shimano shifter. You click it this way, you go down, you click this, brings it back up. And that controls these little guys. You can't see it over here. Can you come around here? So you've got 7 gears. So if you want to ride it like a bicycle, you have the flexibility to use the lower gears to go up those big inclines and steep hills. Or if you're cruising along downhill, you kick it into 7th gear, which is the smallest one, which has the most resistance. So you can change any of those gears. So again, this is first and foremost, this is a bicycle. It's a bike. It's an e-bike. And that's what's amazing about this thing. And I always tell people when I'm concerned about range is if your battery runs out, you can still pedal and ride at home. You can't do that in a car. You can't do that in a golf cart. You can't do that on a scooter. You can't do that on a Segway. You can do that on a bike, and you can do it comfortably with 7 Shimano gears. These are state-of-the-art stuff. It's a very, very nice gear changer. Very cool stuff. It has front suspension. Take a look at this, Felicia. So you can see it's got 2 little things. It's got a blue guy, and you can set the level of suspension you want here. And different levels. And watch what happens when I push down on it. You put your weight on here. It's like a shock absorber. These are actually shock absorbers, Felicia. So you go over those bumps, this thing's going to take the shock so it doesn't scramble your brains. And that's very important when you get to be Felicia's age. I'm telling you, there's things about Felicia you should never know. Okay, so it has front suspension. I forgot that it actually has seat suspension too. So they give you this big chunky seat, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but watch this. The seat post has a shock absorber in it too. So you've got front and rear suspension on this bike. So if you want to take it over those rough roads and some dirt trails or go mountain biking with it, you can do that with this bike. Everything's included. There's no additional charge for any of these things. It comes with the bike. I don't know how Heybike makes any money giving you all this free stuff. I'm serious. At the price point, you see the price down here in the carousel, okay? And I think it's $300 off, isn't it? And I think there was a coupon. I'm not sure if that's still there, but still, $300 off, you're going to save a truckload of money on this, especially for all the stuff you're giving. I mean, they give you a lot of stuff that bikes in a much higher price point give you. And you can buy it on Amazon. You can feel safe about it. You can have it shipped there. You know exactly when it's coming. You can track it. There's so many reasons. All right. So comes with disc brakes. Can you see these chunky disc brakes? 180 centimeter disc brakes. So you're going to stop on a dime. Because you don't want to use those little rubber rim brakes because they don't work, especially when you're going 20-some miles an hour. I mean, they'd work, but they're not going to be as fast as these guys. Completely adjustable. They have little brake pads so they can be replaced. I have never replaced a pair of disc brake pads. I probably have a couple hundred miles on some of my old bikes. I've never needed to replace them. But again, we live in Florida. It's flat here. We don't have a lot of hills, so we're not hard on the brakes. All right, lights. Check this out. I think I have to switch it on for this, don't I? Is it on? Oh, look at that. Lights come standard. That's super bright LED, and that's front and back. Come around back here. Show them the backlight. Look at that. Look at that. Off, on. Oh, and watch what happens when I hit the brakes. Is it on? Did it do it? No, I got to turn it on. Hold on. Oh, I turn, wait. There it is. Is it blinking?
Yep.
There it is. So yeah, so it's solid on, and when you press the brake pedal, the rear brake, it starts blinking to let people know that you're stopping. Just turn it off. It's got a horn. How cool, watch this. How annoying is that? How much fun could you have with that horn? I'll tell you what, I just run up and down the hallway and hit the horn and wake up all the neighbors. It's really, they love it. They love that. All right, then you've got this rear rack, which is insane. It's insane. It's huge. I actually have a bag on it right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And I have this really nice bag on it. But this rear rack, normally e-bike companies charge extra. This could be as much as $100 extra. It comes with the Heybike Mars, no additional charge. It's free. And I forgot to mention that in their little starter kit, they give you all the tools you would ever need to repair this bike. All the right sizes. They're all metric. For your brake pedal, for your tires, for your pedals, and all your adjustments for your handlebars. Everything you need, every different size is here. It all comes with the bike. It's all standard. They throw all that stuff in. Of course, your instruction manual with the installation instructions, you really don't need to do anything because, again, it comes 99.9% assembled. You pull it out of the box, unfold it, you're good to go. And that is, again, mind-blowing to me. So all these things, the Shimano shifter, the front suspension, the suspension in the seat post, disc brakes, lights, rear rack, all standard in the Heybike Mars. Are you beginning to understand why this is one of my favorite e-bikes on the market? Think about it. This is great. It's a lot of value here for it. And it's $300 off? Is it still marked down in the carousel? Mm-hmm. How do you do this, Heybike? You could sell this bike for $2,000 easily. I think everybody who's watching this should buy one of these while the price is low before they go, you know what, we're going to change the price because Fresh said we should charge more for it. They probably won't do that. But, all right, but it could happen, right? Let's keep going down the list of cool stuff. Check out these tires.
Doris just chimed in.
Doris, what's happening? Good to see you again.
Have you found any good recumbents?
No. Have not found any recumbents in the electric space yet. However, there's a bunch of tricycles. Those are becoming more and more popular. But I don't think you need recumbents in electric because you don't need that additional space. But there are some seats in some bikes that you can get. You can get extended seats and long seats that do have back support, which may give you the comfort that you're looking for. But I haven't seen recumbents. I'm sure they're coming down the roadway in the pipeline. It's great. Doris is like in product development, isn't she?
I know, right?
She's genius. She's an IQ of like 4,000, something like that. Fat, puncture-resistant tires. They spared no expense on these. So take a look at these bad boys. Look at the cool little red dots. I think that's a rim liner. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but it looks really cool, doesn't it? And we're going to jack this up with some lights anyway. But nice, big, fat tires, which is the trend right now. Why are fat tires better? Number one, more rubber means you get a better grip. That's more surface area that's touching the ground. Less chance the bike's going to slide out from under you in the event you have wet or slippery pavement or gravel or dirt. You got more rubber touching the road, which is a much more stable and secure ride. Number two, smoother ride because there's more air in these tires. So there's layers of air between you and the concrete or the pavement or the dirt or whatever you're riding in. So you're going to have a much smoother, less bumpy ride with these 4-inch fat tires. And they're all terrain. You see the little knobs? I actually took a bike on the beach today. We'd taken this one on the beach last weekend. I think you can still see the sand there. 4-inch knob. And again, these are standard. A lot of e-bike companies will charge you extra for these features. Heybike includes them. They are all included. This is state of the art. This is, I mean, they just look cool too, don't they? Don't you think they look cool?
I do.
Don't you see people coming by with thinner tires and you laugh at them now? You're like, ah, thin tires. And what happened? Nothing, because you would never do that. All right, we talked about this adjustable cushion seat. Now, did you like this seat when you sat on it?
I did.
Woo! It really smooths out the bumps. There's a lot of bikes that have front suspension. That's kind of the standard fork now with the front shock absorbers, but they forget about the back. Because you hit the thing with your front, but your back's still going to be thrown up in the air. Heybike threw in the cushioned seat post. And it's actually a really nice seat. It's an upgraded seat as well. So you hit the front with this, these go down, this goes down, so you have a much smoother, much more comfortable ride if you're doing those off-road trails. We ride through a lot of grass. We have a lot of construction zones here. There's a lot of bumps and dips and divots in the grass, and this really takes all that pain out of that nonsense. I love this thing. And again, this is normally an extra. Heybike threw it in for free because they want you to be comfortable. And it's adjustable too. You can adjust the tilt, move it up. You can bring this guy all the way up if you want to. There is a level here you don't want to go past. He has this little thing here. So if you're like 6'8", you could probably ride this thing. I could never ride it this high, but there are people that tall. But if you're 5'3", you could ride this thing pretty comfortably too. You put it all the way down and then lock it in right about there. And then you can, so really they've done a nice job making this comfortable for just about anybody to ride. That's your quick release there if you want to take it out. You could change the seat. A lot of people change the seats, but you don't have to on this one. This is actually an upgraded seat, very comparable to a big name brand seat that we actually have on another bike. And I looked at it next to this one. I said, you know what? I think that's the same seat with a different name on it. This is a nice seat, and it's standard with this Heybike Mars. It's crazy how many cool things they're giving you here. All right, see the adjustable cushion. You see, I get really excited about this stuff. I haven't even digressed once. Recommended rider height, there's Felicia staring out at the ocean. She was about to jump in, but I grabbed her, I pulled her back. I said, whoa, Felicia, we're going on a cruise. She's like, oh, okay. Will there be tequila? I couldn't answer that question, but there are drink packages on cruises. That's all I can say. Rider height, 5'3". How tall are you, Felicia?
5'3".
And how did it fit you?
Perfect.
That's right. Yeah, you're good, right? No problems getting on or off?
No problem getting on or off.
And 6'3", even if you're really tall, you saw how high that seat could go. Now, if you are kind of on the shorter side, this has a handle too, and this handle's kind of cool too, because you can pick it up here, and it's almost balanced perfectly, like right in the middle of this guy. So if you're a little shorter, you can always tip the bike this way and put your leg over it this way. How easy is that? How high did I have to go there? I can go as low as 12 inches. And this bike's only 66 pounds, so it's not that heavy. So I can lift it about 12 inches, put my foot over it,
I did do
put it back here. Oh, that's what you have to do on these bikes. So even though it has this crossbar, it doesn't have a step through. Heybike does have other models that have a step through. But this is pretty low where you can tip and dip, I call it. Or dip and tip. Is it tip and dip? I don't know. I'm creating new things all the time. Doris could probably come up with something
She's
for that.
asking how the house is going.
Oh, God, don't ask.
Slow.
It'll be months. We have some progress, though. We're going to have an e-bike room in our new house. It's going to be very, very exciting, along with 2 studios, the Felicia studio and the Fresh studio. So we're really excited. We're thinking probably the end of this year, but starting to move along a little bit. They did break ground, so that's good news, right? All right, tip and dip. All right, you want to try this? I get on it like this. I like to kick my leg back up because I like showing off because, you know, I'm young and limber. All right, and maybe not young. All right, so 5'3" to 6'3", recommended rider height. It's great. Maximum load, 330 pounds. That's the rider and any stuff you have back here on your rear rack. So you can carry stuff if you need to carry stuff. I saw some guy carrying a couch on a bicycle. He had it like on his back, and he was riding his bicycle like this. And I would imagine that that would probably be under 330 pounds. Maybe your average dude. I don't know. So it does hold a tremendous amount of weight. So more Probably it'll have a greater weight capability than you probably ever need. So that is awesome. All right, so what can you do with this thing? Is it time for show and smell?
It's time for show and smell.
Fold it up. You fold your Mars up and you can take it anywhere. Do you guys want to see me fold this bike?
Yes, please.
No? No? All right, let's skip along. Oh, wait, I have to do it? All right, let me show you how this works. Now, this bike is 66 pounds with the battery. So what I recommend is taking the battery out first. And you could do that by, check this out. I'm going to flip the seat up. Watch this. It's like magic. I'm going to do it again. Watch. Ready? Ready? You getting this? Does it make that noise every time you flip it?
Only when you do it.
All right. Here is your battery. And we'll talk about the key and all that other stuff. You take it to the unlock position. And we're going to lift it up. Ooh, is it in the unlock position? Oh, you got to push it in. And you pull it up like that. Look at that. This battery is about 9, almost 10 pounds. This is the battery here. Cool. So I recommend taking it out. You can put this in the back seat of your car if you're traveling with it. It just makes the bike a little bit lighter to carry once you folded it up, because you're going to have to lift it and throw it on the back of the SUV, right? So I'm going to put that aside here. And then you can put the seat back down if you want to. It doesn't matter. Now let me show you what's going on. I'm going to turn it around here if I can do that. I'm in an apartment with this bike, and the fact that I can maneuver this freely in a small space like this is mind-blowing. So if you live in a smaller house, in an apartment, you can actually keep this bike in your place comfortably, throw it in the bottom of a closet in the hallway somewhere. You can do that with this. All right, so this got these two levers here. It has this one here. This is the first one. So you take this guy and kind of press it forward. It says open. You got to kind of get it in there because it's really, really tight. Because it has to be tight. It's holding these two pieces of metal together. And I'm going to tell you straight up, never get your finger caught in here because it's like a vice. It's like, watch. It is unforgiving. It will take your finger off. So just be very careful when you're doing that. Chances are you'll never put your finger in there unless you're opening it up. When you're folding it up, it's going to go away. So that's a good thing. But don't put your finger in, I'm telling you. That would be bad. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the bike, so you have enough room here, and you're going to fold it like this. Kind of gingerly fold it like that. Look at that. And it has a little piece of metal on the bottom. So you can stick it on the pedal or on there, right? All right, you're going to say, okay, well, that's too high for my SUV. It's still too big. What should I do? Well, come over here, Felicia. I'll show you what you can do now. Because the handlebars fold too. Take this guy and then click this down and watch this. Oh, shut the front door. What did he just do? You now have a folded e-bike. Claps it together. And the pedals even fold up too if you need that extra space. So you can fit two of these bad boys in most full-size SUVs, even the mid-size SUVs. How cool is that, right? Completely foldable. Again, it looks like a transformer, doesn't it? That's the coolest thing in the world to me. Look at that. Look at that, Felicia. Look at that. Are you excited about this? Are you excited about this bike as I am? And then when you get to your place, you take it out of the car. People say, is this thing heavy? All right, so we're at what, 56 pounds?
Doris says if you pinch your finger, you'll yell.
Oh my God.
Heybike.
Look, you will yell something different than, hey, I'm not going to lie, I did it. Not with this one, but a different one. And I learned my lesson. I will never do it again. Where is it? I think it's pretty much healed now, but the first time I ever unfolded an e-bike, I did make that mistake. I'm not going to lie. All right, so people ask me, well, is it heavy to pick up? It's 55, 56 pounds at this point, right? Well, 57 maybe. And you can lift it up like this. So you're probably going to need somebody with some strength, unless you have a ramp or something to get it up to the back of your car, because the back of your car is probably going to be about this high. So it's going to be a lot lighter without the battery on it. All right, so you will need a little bit of strength to get it up there, I'm not going to lie. All right, so when you get it to your destination, pick it up, lower it to the ground, and we're going to put it back together. Am I too close to you? So you're going to take this bad boy. This is like the easy part. Take it like that. Keep your fingers out of there. Snap this bad boy back together. Just like that. Take your handlebars. Don't put your fingers in here either. This is worse. Actually, you could probably use this for a nut cracker. Do you have a nut we could crack? Just a little nut cracker. So keep your fingers out of here too. That's very dangerous. pop that in like that, and then squeeze this close, and boom, you're in business. That's all you got to do. It's ready to go. Oh, you got to put the battery back in. How cool is that? Is that the coolest thing in the world? Heybike Mars. How much is this thing, Felicia?
$1,099.99.
You know what I'm going to do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to buy all these and then resell them for like $3,000 each because it's worth that much money.
Doris wants to know if it'll fit in the back seat.
In some cars, it will fit in the back. Depends how big of a back seat you have. And if you can, actually, if you can move the front seat forward enough for it to access the back seat. So that's an important consideration too. I could probably put this in the back seat of our Jeep. So you want to put a towel down or something on the seat because there's oil on the chain and everything that it could tip a little bit and you don't want to get grease on your seat, all right? So about 66 pounds with the battery, about, I don't know, 56, 57 without the battery. And you can see I have it in the back of it. Now this is one bike. This is a 1997 Jeep. This is one of our Jeeps. And it's a very, very small area. I have the back seat folded forward. There's not a lot of room back here. In our new Jeep, we can get a lot more. You probably get two of them side by side in a new Jeep. But in this old 1997 two-door, I've got it in there nice and cozy. I have a video on that too. You can check our socials for that. Real simple to get it up and in there and take it anywhere you want to go. And that's the game changer. Take it anywhere you want. I feel like Bob Ross again. Really, it's your world. Take it anywhere you want. Make it your world. Ride wherever you want. Who cares? Nobody makes rules except you. Huh? Happy little crowds. Happy little accidents. All right, 2 ways to check your battery while we're talking about this. This is pretty cool. So this is your battery. Overreacting. So you have to turn it to the on position. It's like a car. Turn it here. You get 2 keys with this thing. Don't lose them. You can press this button. What? Turn to the on position. Hold it, and I've got a full charge on this battery. Turn and hold it. Goes all the way up. Or you can check it on your computer display, which we will take a look at a little bit later, right? And this is really cool. I just discovered this the other day. I didn't know there was a USB charger in here. Did you know that? So this is actually a big USB power bank. Peel that aside, you could charge your phone on this thing. You can't do it while you're riding, unfortunately, and that kind of stinks, but I get it. But if you're taking this to work and you need a USB charge, you can kind of do that. If you're going somewhere to the park and, hey, I need to top off my phone, you can do it with this battery. It's like one big power bank. That's pretty cool, right? And all right, so I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna put it back on. Is it time to put this back on? I'm just gonna put it back in here. You see this little rail here? It's like a choo-choo train. So you put this slot on this rail. And it takes a little while to get used to this. I'm still trying to figure it out. And once you get it lined up in there, it slides right down. And I have to put it in the open position. That's it. She's ready to go.
Doris says, how long does the battery last and how long to charge it?
We are going to get to that in just a second. Those are great questions and the most popular and annoying questions we get. No offense, it's just people start talking about range and then you know that sets me off, right? So we talked about the battery, it comes with the charger. We'll talk about that. So you can cure battery anxiety. Before we get into the range, they recommend that every time you take it out on a ride, when you bring it home, top off the battery. So it's always fully charged and ready to rock and roll.
Rick and Rod TV says, John.
Rick and Rod TV, what's up, Hector? PA means pedal assist. If you're starting off, don't just hit the throttle and let the throttle take you, although you can do that. But try to give it a little bit of pedal. Just take it to a lower gear. Take it to like gear 1 and start pedaling because that will help the battery tremendously. One of the most difficult things the motor has to do is go from a dead start. So if you give it a little bit of pedal assist, your battery is going to last a lot longer. You're going to be able to go a lot further. Pedal assist on hills. I've seen people just ride up hills. Okay, this is not a motorcycle, it's an e-bike. It's similar, but if you pedal assist on those hills, just give it a little bit extra help. It's going to make the battery last a lot longer. You'll be able to go a lot further. So pedal assist on your starts and on your hills. And number 4, of course, pedal. If your battery does die, if you're 40 miles away from home, what are you going to do? Hope it's downhill all the way home? No, you can pedal. It's a bicycle, a 7-speed bicycle. So you can pedal just like a normal bike on your way home in the event that your battery dies. And that's the beauty of these things, is they're both an electric vehicle and they're also a bicycle. And that's what's really cool about these things. All right, pedal. Range, Doris's question. How far can you go? Now, the manufacturer says according to this motor and this battery, theoretically in perfect conditions, and that's how all companies rate their batteries, in perfect conditions, which, as you know, things are rarely perfect in this world, you could go 37 to 48 miles. But is that likely? It could be, but probably not, because you have to take into account hills and inclines. If you're going up a causeway or a big steep hill in San Francisco, you're probably not going to get that much range because your motor's got to work a lot harder. It's going to use a lot more of the battery. Your weight. Somebody who weighs 200 pounds versus somebody who weighs 90 pounds, obviously the 200-pound person is going to put a lot more weight. The motor has to do more work, and it uses more of a battery charge to move a heavier person. It depends how much you weigh. Wind direction. If that wind's slamming into your face at 20 miles an hour like it does here in Vera, and I swear every time I take a bike ride, we start riding into the wind, and the wind shifts when we come back, and it's riding in my face again. Do you notice that?
I do.
It's like anti-Felicia or something. I don't know what's going on. It's always blowing it. So it depends how fast the wind's going. If it's blowing with you or against you, sometimes the wind, you get lucky, and the wind will push you. And the battery's going to last a lot longer because you're essentially like a big sail. Tire inflation. If they're properly inflated, they recommend about 20 pounds per square inch, 20 PSI on these bike tires. But if you don't blow them up for a while and the temperature changes, they can lose pressure and end up 15, 16. And the flatter your tires are, the more resistance you're going to have and the less mileage you're going to be able to get out of this battery out of a full charge. Start and stops. Now, if you're gunning the throttle, this is the throttle on this bike. It's a thumb throttle. Some bikes have a twist throttle, a half twist. This is a thumb throttle. So you hit this bad boy, and if you just gun it, it's like driving a car. Your gas mileage is going to stink if you're gassing it all the way down to the floor every time you take off. But if you kind of gingerly go and you help with a little pedal assist, you're going to get a lot more range out of it.
Okay, right. Doris had a really good question.
What's up, Doris?
Speaking of pedaling, how does it compare a non-electric bike to pedal without the battery?
It's really, I don't see much of a difference. Do you? The only difference is these are a little heavier because the motor and the battery provides a lot more weight than a typical bicycle has.
That is true.
That's really the only difference I see. What about you?
I agree. It's the extra weight that makes it a little bit more, you got to put a little bit more effort.
You got it to start off.
To start off.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more weight than your typical bicycle. Right. Actually, these foldable frames too are a little bit more chunky because they have to be, because it's foldable and you have to have a lot of metal here so it doesn't bow down and crash on you and fall apart, right? And the other thing, that's a great question though. I think it's very, very similar, a little more difficult because of the weight. Really, that's the best answer I could give you on that thing. The weight of the motor plus the battery, plus a little bit heavier frame. And your PA, your pedal assist, in terms of your range. The more you can help the bike along, the further you're going to be able to go. I don't know many people who are going to want to go 48 miles on a bike ride. Some people will ride these to work, but I think the most I've ever seen anybody ride is like 12 miles to work, 12 miles back. And while you're at work, you can charge, right? So you can top off that battery. But some people can't do that. If you're riding far away to this park you've always wanted to go to and it's 15 miles, it's 15 miles there, 15 miles back, you should be okay. Again, depends how much you pedal, how much you weigh, if the wind's in your face, how many hills you have to go up, how your tires are inflated, how much you're pedaling. There's too many variables to really make an honest calculation of range. So that's why I hate that question. Does it make sense? But theoretically, in perfect conditions, you weigh 95 pounds, you got no wind, you're in Florida, flat terrain, you can probably go 37 to 48 miles depending on how much you pedal.
How long does it take to fully charge?
About 3 to 5 hours to fully charge the battery. 3 to 5 hours from a dead charge. Chances are you're not going to completely kill the battery, so it's going to be 2-3 hours maybe, or maybe 1 hour. Depends how much of the battery you use. It's only going to top it off. It's got smart sensors on it that knows, all right, I'm topped off, I'm not going to charge anymore. So it could be a lot less depending on how much you use the battery. Doris, thank you. You're asking great questions. Anybody else has questions? Type them in the chat.
That was Hector.
Anything. Was it Hector's question? Thank you, Hector. Hector, you're a genius too. I mean, Rick and Rod. Oops. All right, so let's keep going. The key to my heart, and only Felicia has that. There are 2 keys that come with these things. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you lose both of these keys, there's no way to replace them. You're dead. You're gone. You won't get power without it. And what's neat about this is other e-bikes, the only thing the key does is let you take the battery off. Heybike got a little smarter and said, you know what? We're going to put some security in this. If you don't have the key, you don't get any power on this thing. Not only you can't take the battery off because you have to unlock it, but you can't turn the battery on without the key. Is that pretty cool, right? Yeah. So if you're going somewhere, you're going to a restaurant or something, and somebody tries, let me take this battery, I can sell this on eBay. Oh, I got to lock it. You can't do it, and you can't turn it on. Like, all right, let me turn this thing on. Oh, wait, I'm not getting any power here. I can't do it. Actually, I don't know if it locks it in. I don't think it, wait, does it lock it in here? All right, I may be incorrect about that. Anyway, you can't use the electric features and the motor in the bike without the key. It's locked in the off position. You take it out, you're done. Yeah, you can lock it in. It is locked in now. Oops, almost lost the key. So now I can't pull this out. I can't pull it out. Oh, I can't. So you can lock the battery in so people can't steal your battery. And it's in the off position, so somebody wants to ride up on my bike if I'm having a nice glass of wine or I'm get the pizza at a restaurant and I have my bike inside and I got it chained up. They managed to get bolt cutters and cut through my lock or my chain. It's not going to do any good without this. They're going to have to drill through this lock and they're going to have to get a new battery.
Can the bike still be pedaled even when...
Yes, that is true. It's still, first and foremost, this is a bicycle. You can ride this thing without a battery. You can choose to take the battery out and just ride it like a bike. So that is an option. So absolutely, you can still ride it as a bicycle. But it's not as fun, right? You know? The whole thing about these e-bikes is the electricity. It makes it fun. It gives you that throttle, that pedal assist, that ability to go faster and further and into the wind without getting as tired as you normally get. So 2 keys, 3 positions. You can see the 3 positions on here. Can you get up on there and actually see that? You have an unlock, you have an on and an off, or off on. And this key has to be on the on position for this bike to do anything with electricity. So that's pretty cool, right?
Bike for using as a delivery vehicle.
It absolutely, this big giant, should I just take this off and show you this rack? That's what a lot of people use it for. You can actually, on the front of that, there's 4 bolts. You can actually get an optional front rack for this thing. And that's pretty cool. And a lot of people do use these things for deliveries. This is a neat bag. I'll show you that later. So it's an oversized rack. It's actually a really nice rack. Sometimes when I ride by this restaurant, some people will yell out, hey, nice rack. And I'm like, thanks, I think. I don't know what they're talking about. I think they're talking about this, I hope. But it's very, very nice. It's wide. It's long. You could put boxes on here. You could put pizza boxes. You could put your lunch on here. You could put bags, saddle bags on here and come down the side like this because this is protected. So the saddlebags won't, hit your wheel. But yeah, it's standard. This comes with the bike. Some bike companies will charge you $100 for a custom rack. Heybike not only includes it, but it's already installed properly and super tight when you get the bike in the box. Heybike, I love you guys. I want to come live with Heybike because they're so cool. I want to hang out with Heybike.
Can make a deal with Domino's.
That's what I'm talking about. They can make a deal with anybody. But yeah, this thing will hold, I'm not sure how much weight it is. It's on the description in there. I think it'll hold about 30 pounds or more. You could put a child seat on here and carry a little toddler. Some people put their dogs, if they have one of those little dogs, a little Yorkie or one of those little toy poodles, you can put them in a little bag, attach it to this thing with little Velcro strips and take your dog with you on a trip. So that is pretty cool. Standard. Again, the battery, this is really some really cool security features about the key in the battery. Number 1, you can lock it in so somebody can't run off with it. Number 2, the bike's not going to work without the key. You're not going to be able to get the electric features. Yes, you can still pedal it and ride it, but the electric features will be unavailable unless you have the correct key. They give you 2, and there's no way to get another one. Once those 2 are gone, if you lose those 2, you're in trouble. You got to get a new battery.
Doris calls it the MSE.
The MSE, this could be the MSE. She would never sit on this thing. All right, so we talked about the key. The key to my heart is Heybike. All right, the flight controller. Let's take a look at that. Are you okay going hands-free for a minute too? I'm going to turn her on. Turn the key to the on position. Now everything happens right here with this controller. Press the power button, hold it for a second or two, and it pops on. I'm going to turn the light on by holding this button so you can see it. Look at that. This is your control center. This is Mission Central. Felicia, this is the most exciting thing on this bike. You can cycle through the different things by hitting the power. Right now, I see miles per hour, my battery level, and I know that my backlight's on. Right now, it's showing pedal assist 1. Now, I can take that up to pedal assist 3. 3 is the most it's going to give me, the most power that motor on the back of this bike is going to give me in pedal assist 3. But if I don't want that much power, I just want a little, want to go about 10 miles an hour, pedal assist 1 is all you need. You can also take it to 0, which means the motor will not kick in whatsoever.
So you're just pedaling.
You're just pedaling. And sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes if you're in a situation where you have a lot of people around and you really don't want that motor to kick in, you don't want to accidentally hit the throttle. The other thing about pedal assist too, and correct me if I'm wrong, is if I hit the throttle, it won't move. It does not move. But if I turn it to pedal assist 1, and I'm walking with the bike and I accidentally hit that throttle, watch what happens to the back wheel. It's moving. And sometimes you don't want to do that. Like if you're in an apartment like this and you accidentally hit the throttle, you're going through some drywall. You're going to call a contractor, right?
Yeah.
That's no bueno. All right, what else can you see? We see that I've done 15.5 miles and loved every one of them. I'm in pedal assist 0 right now, so the throttle's not working, the motor's not going to kick in. My battery's fully charged and my backlight's on. This is my Odo. You know what that means?
No.
It means I got to put some deodorant on because I got some Odo in my armpits, you know what I'm saying? All right, so you press this button again, it's going to take you to the trip meter. And I've never reset my trip meter, and I don't know how to do it, to be honest with you, but it's in the manual, and you can look it up. And I don't care about trip meters, but if that's important to you, you can reset it. So the trip meter is exactly the same as the odometer. I like having backup redundant systems, right? Time. How many minutes have you ridden this bike? And you can reset this as well. So you can gauge how long you're working out, right? And you can go a little bit longer next time. If I went 12 minutes on this ride, I want to go 13 next time. If I did 13, I want to do 26 next time. If I do 27, I want to do 52. I want to do 51, I want to do 104. All right, so we're going to press that again. And we're going to say W power. That means watts of power when you're hitting this thing. Let me try it, actually. I'm going to put a pedal assist 1. Let me lift up the back and spin the motor. And watch this thing. Does it do anything? No, watch this here.
No.
Does the watt power do anything? It tells you how many watts of power I'm using. Does it change?
No. Yep.
All right, so you know I'm using 10 watts. There we go. It tells me how fast I'm going. Cool, right? Put that thing in 0 because I don't want to replace my TV or my drywall. And then you can press it again, and it tells you, all right, you shouldn't see that number because the max speed on this bike is theoretically 20 miles an hour, but I was able to pedal and get it up to 23.4 on a flat because I'm such a massive athlete, right? I'm 56 years old. All right, so I got this baby up to 23, so it is possible to get it over 20 miles an hour. Not likely, it's kind of hard to do it, but you can do it. And I'm going to press this again. My average speed is about 10.9 miles per hour, and then it kicks back into the standard. My odometer with my miles per hour right now, my battery, my lights on, my pedal assist. Pretty cool, right? I knew she was going to do that. And you can hit the lights with this button too. I like that some other e-bikes have these integrated in here, but it's really confusing to where they're going to go. And this is nice. This has separate switches for your lights. Super bright LED headlight. This is insanity. Look how bright this thing is. And it's got a tail light as well around the back. And you just turn that on or off. I could do SOS if I'm stuck. I could do that right on here. The other thing this has too is something called walk assist. And why would you need that? You figured out how to do that the other day, right?
I did.
When you were walking through sand.
I did.
It was really hard to walk through sand and push the bike because it's so heavy, right?
The sand was really thick.
So what you can do is hold the minus key down for a second and it will kick in the motor at about 3 miles an hour. 3.6, 3.7, maybe 4 miles an hour. And let it go, it stops.
It's just enough.
Just enough to help you get through dirt, sand, or snow, or something where it's really difficult to push the bike. So you hold the minus button, it gives you that walk assist function, which is very, very helpful. And then when you turn it off, you just hit that power button. I recommend, if you don't want the motor to kick in, if you don't want to accidentally hit, because it's easy, if you're pushing the bike, it is fairly easy to hit that throttle. And that, if you're in a pedal assist 1 to 3, the thing's going to take off. You're going to lose it, you're going to lose control, it's going to ride off a little bit. the motor will stop, but it still has whatever momentum you give, and you could end up getting in some trouble. So put it in either pedal assist 0 or turn the motor off when you're just walking around with it.
So Rick and Rob wants to know, does it do well on the beach?
Yes, we took it on the beach last weekend. Great ride. How did you think? You rode it on the beach.
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I loved it.
Now, the loose sand, it's going to be really hard to keep your balance. I actually made a fool of myself today with a bigger bike. I was doing a beach ride and I was going on the dunes at Jetty Park down here near Port Canaveral. And I was going down these crazy dunes that you should probably not ride a bike on, but I didn't fall, right?
Nope.
But it went through the loose sand surprisingly well, as this one did too. But don't think you're going to be like a mountain biker or something and go through there. Like, works really well on the hard packed sand. And that's where most people ride these bikes at our local beach. We're about 10 minutes from the beach here. Great question though, but
Doris wants to know, donuts or wheelies?
I haven't had the guts, but I think Rick and Rod will probably do that. Rick and Rod's crazy like that. He'll do wheelies and stuff. He don't care. He's just, you know, he's young. You're young, and I hate you for that, man. But I love you. Yeah, you could do wheelies. I've seen people do wheelies on these things. Would I do them? No, I'm not doing it. I'm too old for that stuff. When I was a kid, I used to do it. But the controller, tremendous amount of stuff is going to give you the battery level, your pedal assist level, your speed in MPH or KMH if you're in Europe, or if you prefer kilometers per hour, you can do that. And it's got the odometer and trip meter, which you can reset too. So a lot of information and a lot of controls and a lot of flexibility here on the onboard controller.
Rick and Rod said he needs one so he can do wheelies.
You need one of these, Rick and Rod.
38 years old.
Call me, bro. 38? I hate you, man. Man, when I was at 30, I was in the best shape of my life.
Young,
I'll tell you what. So I was about 55, and then 55 is like, so you got a few more years, you're going to be all right. Safety features. Look at this old guy riding like he's a kid. Yeah. So safety features, some really cool safety features in here. The brakes. As soon as you hit the brakes, even if you have the throttle on full, it's going to turn the motor off. So they've got smart. In the old first generation of e-bikes, you could hit the throttle and hit the brakes and they would just keep going. But now they got some smart features in the computer. It says, all right, this guy hit the brakes. I'm going to cut all power to the motor. So as soon as you hit those brakes, motor cuts off no matter what you're doing here. Even if you're pedaling, motor cuts off. Front LED headlight. Riding at night, it's important to be seen. We'll talk about some accessories, how to be seen, some really cool stuff that we're doing to our bikes to be seen, because we ride in the evening sometimes. We have a shopping center not too far from here, and we like to go have dinner over there, and we like to ride our bikes there at night.
How much does the whole thing weigh? Rick and Rob wants to know, can it be taken on an airplane for future trips?
Unfortunately, I don't think you can take lithium-ion batteries of this size on an airplane. And I think even folded, I think these bikes are a little too big for the maximum size they're going to let on an airplane. I think even if you check it, I think it's a little too big. But check with your airline, find out what their deal is. You'd have to put it in a box or something, so you probably have to keep the box that it's shipped in, but I think it's a little too big for most airlines. Now what you can do is ship it ground, ship it FedEx or UPS ground, and meet you at your destination if you ship it a couple days in advance, which is what most people will do with these things. You have to let them know that there is a lithium-ion battery in here because they have to go ground. They don't want those up in airplanes in case something weird happens. As far as the battery technology goes, they're using mostly name brands, Samsung and LG lithium-ion cells, so they're proven, they're tested. Nothing's really going to happen that's going to go bad on these things, but I don't think you can take it on airplane.
Doris says just buy a private plane.
You could buy a private. You can do whatever you want on a private. Who cares? As far as the weight goes, again, fully loaded, this is 66 pounds. I can one-hand it. Most people can't. But you take the battery off, you're going to shave about 9-10 pounds off of that. So it does have a little bit of girth to it, and that's important for some of our people who can't lift that much. You know, if you have back problems, have arthritis, if you're a smaller person, you might not be able to do that. So that is an important consideration. But most people, I think, can lift 50, 60 pounds, like lifting a small kid or a medium-sized dog, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's got this little handle on it. Again, I can one-hand it. Can you lift this up? All right, don't do it. And you have your rear tail light, and again, the brake light, which blinks when your lights are on, so people know that you're stopping in the event you're riding in the dark. So some really cool safety features built into this bike here.
SAMH just tuned in, says oil
Yeah, look at that. You look good, don't you? I had to shave that off for a job interview. So this is the Heybike Mars. How much is this right now, Felicia?
$1,099.99.
Is it really $300 off?
Yes.
That is insanity. Am I right?
You are.
How do they do
I
that?
don't know.
Heybike, I just want to say you got my love forever.
$55 coupon too.
What?
Check the box.
So check that box. You get an addition. You get a $300 savings, which can take you down to $1,100, and then another $55 off.
55.
Insane. These are in stock too, aren't they?
Yes.
And again, this is my favorite e-bike because you can fold it up into like a little sandwich and put it in the back of your car and take it anywhere.
Free delivery. If you order today, come here
Nuh-uh.
by Friday or over the weekend.
Is it free delivery? Is there a delivery charge on there?
Free delivery March 4th.
Nuh-uh.
Wow. You get it as soon as the 4th.
Amazing. Again, amazing. The lights are standard. The front and seat suspension standard. The upgraded seat standard. The rear rack is standard. So many amazing things they're throwing in for absolutely no additional charge. The security features and the safety features of this key that no other electric bike, to my knowledge, has. There's no other bike you can lock the power off. Once the battery's in there, you can do whatever you want. And most of the other e-bikes, you turn the key just to take the battery off, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of dumb. Why wouldn't you just, why wouldn't you require that key to turn it on? And that's what this bike does. So you don't have the key, you're not going anywhere electrically. You can still ride it like a bicycle, 7 speeds, 180 centimeter disc brakes, 4-inch puncture-resistant tires. Look, and it's foldable again. That's the game changer where you can take this bad boy anywhere you want, anytime you want. The coolest thing in the world. Heybike Mars, one of my favorite e-bikes on earth. I mean that. Felicia knows. So yeah, pick up one of these things now. Completely safe to shop at Amazon. You're going to get it shipped directly to you. You're going to get it shipped quick. And you'll be up and riding as soon as you charge that battery. Again, fully assembled. It's going to come in this big box like I showed you at the beginning of this thing. Fully assembled. It's ready to rock and roll. All you have to do is charge the battery and you're off riding. I was out riding in a couple hours. Do we have any questions about Heybike Mars before I take a ride down the hallway?
You will.
I've done it. She did it.
I did it.
You did it last week. I was like, what are you doing? All right. Chime in. We'll be here for a few more minutes to talk about questions about the Heybike Mars. In the meantime, let's talk about some accessories.
Do it.
What do we have first?
Look at
Oh, I love this thing. Check this out. Stand by. All right, so you're going to need air. I had to pump up these tires when I got them because they kind of, in shipping, there's various temperatures and they lose a little bit of their, she doesn't like this thing. This is the Locathor. Now, they sent this to us as a battery charger because I have that old Jeep. And sometimes my Jeep battery dies, and this is first and foremost, it's a battery charger. So a jump starter. So if you run out of battery juice, you don't have to call AAA, you don't have to ask somebody, hey, you got jumper cables, you don't have to wait for somebody in the parking lot. If you're there alone on the side of the road, need to jump start your car, you have one in your car. Number 2, it's a USB power bank. All right, so you could charge your phone. Number 3, it's got a flashlight on it. How does that work? I don't remember where that, oh, here. Is that it? No, that's not it. Where's the flashlight? Oh, and it does SOS. It does strobe, so you can have a strobe party. And it does SOS. 3 long, 3 short, 3 long. Even the side of the road, that's great. But the coolest thing about this thing is it is also an air compressor. It comes with this little bad boy. So you pop this guy in here, you screw it in, and then you're like, all right, well, I want, let's see, I want to do 20 PSI. So you press pump, and it starts shooting out air. What? You can do that in a hand. Look, no cords, no cables. It's completely wireless. You just charge this up with a USB cable and you're good to go. So if you're pumping up e-bikes, or if you need to put air in your tires, this is the way to go. It's made by Locathor. It comes in this nice little bag. Everything you need, just power it off. You can keep it in your trunk or in your car or even in your bike bag forever. If you need a little bit of air, Locathor is there. I just came up with their new slogan. Did you see what I did there? Jump starter and air compressor. Again, the air compressor is my favorite feature, which is why we're talking about it, because you're going to need air in your tires, and it's kind of a pain. You ever tried to do that?
turn signal, what, does it have turn signal and brake lights?
It has brake lights. It does not have a turn signal. So I don't think there's any bikes that come with turn signal standard. You can buy them.
That would be nice. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
is. There's a little turn signal thing, but you could use your hand. You could do left or right. Use your hand signals. But it does have brake lights, so it will blink. The rear light will blink red when you're stopping, so people will know you're stopping. So that's pretty cool.
Emma does not like Locathor.
Emma doesn't like anything. She's so mean. All right, what's next? Anything else to talk about there?
Yes.
What?
Your phone mount.
Oh, I do dig this phone mount.
You wanna go over there?
This is called, no, you need to leave it there. This is the Lamicol, I think it's called. And it's just real simple. It clips on here through a quick release. You can take it off if you want to. But it adjusts to just about any size phone. You can put a small iPad in here too. But it keeps it in pretty securely. It's got little rubber grips in here. So your phone's not going to go flying even if you're on a bumpy road. Nice little piece of equipment because you're going to carry your phone just about anywhere you go now. You can pop it in here, you put it in selfie mode. You take a look at yourself riding and try to look beautiful. So you get your TikTok going on. Hey girl, I'm here, I'm styling, yeah. Okay, so that is very cool. Lamicol phone because it's and it clips right to your handlebars, just about any size handlebars. Comes with everything you need to install it as well. Quick release.
Holy apple chips. Does this sound louder when Mario's vocals when he's singing tunes?
It does?
Yes.
Okay. Holy apple chips. How's that? All right, what's next in our carousel? So many things to talk about.
Helmet.
Helmet, yes, you must have a helmet. You should ride helmets. Although I want to make it clear to all the moderators in the world out there, no matter what company you work for, it is not illegal to ride a bicycle without a helmet or an e-bike in the state of Florida without a helmet, okay? We got that straight? But if you're riding on the street in crowded areas with a lot of traffic, this is Felicia's helmet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mine.
Oh my God. Okay, completely adjustable anywhere you want. This is neat because it comes with a little front visor. You don't use the visor, do you?
I do not.
I just wear sunglasses. But it's magnetic and attaches right here. And again, this one is pretty cool. So it's rechargeable and it has a little red light on the back
Oh,
of
I
it.
didn't know that.
And it'll blink too. I think there's a couple different modes. So if you're riding at night, again, being seen is very, very important. SAHM, what's up, California?
Yeah, she wants to know what are the laws in Cali.
We're coming. Like tonight, I think.
The laws.
Oh, the laws in Cali. I don't know. You can look those up. Google has there's 50 different sets of laws for bikes. And some states have different laws for regular bikes versus e-bikes. Florida has no laws whatsoever. You do whatever you want in Florida. It's crazy here, but I'm sure California, a little more conservative on the safety laws. So you probably have some rules out there. And again, it can change by county as well. So it really depends what state you're in and how that jurisdiction's set up for those types of laws. But again, in Florida, do whatever you want. Who cares? I think you have to be, if you're 16 or older, you can do whatever you want. What's next?
You're yes.
On my bag? I am what they call a bag hag. I love bags. I have thousands of bags, don't I? Do you call me a bag hag sometimes?
You have a lot.
Check this one out. This one's really cool. Now, some bags, you'll notice they have Velcro straps and you have to go all the way underneath. Well, this is a wider rack on the Heybike Mars, which is great because you can put a lot more stuff. Child seats on here, you put boxes on here, put your pizza delivery on here, whatever you want. But this thing is really neat because you don't have to go all the way under. What you can do is just go right here. It's this side, each side has one of these. That's it. You don't have to go all the way under and try to feel for that like the other bags.
That's nice.
That drives me nuts, man. And it's totally secure. Once it's on here, she's not going anywhere. We actually keep our drone in here. It's got some reflective material here. This is reflective.
You have a drone now?
Shh. And on the back here, it has reflective material as well. And if you want to take it off and use it as a lunch bag, it is insulated. You can put your lunch in here and put a picnic. Just take it off and grab it with the handle here. I think there's straps in here too. I'm not sure. Yeah, there are straps. So you could use it for a shoulder strap as well. Pretty cool, right? And you put your drink up here to just tie it down with this little tie down here and make it a little tighter if you want to. Cool?
Cool.
So that's neat too, and it fits really good. It looks really good on this bike, doesn't it? It looks like it was made for this bike. So those are pretty cool too. You can get it all bunch. There's a whole bunch of different bags on Amazon, but this is one of my favorite. I think this is weather resistant as well. Whole bunch of different places to put things. Little zipper pockets in here. You can put stuff in. Very cool, huh?
That's great. Your bike
What's
lights.
my lights, and this is my favorite thing, and not because they're bike lights. What these are meant to do, and I wish I could show them to you, but I didn't have a chance to install them. What you do with these is, these are bike lights for your wheels. And this particular one changes color. You can get them in any color you want. You get like white, blue, red, green, whatever color, I think orange. But this one changes. I thought that was really cool. So you put these on your bike and kind of wrap them around your spokes. And they give you this really cool, well, I'm not actually doing it right now. So this mounts on your axle, and then you wrap it around your spokes. And it gives you this really cool circular light that changes and cycles. Cool. It is really cool at night, right?
It's great at night.
I have it on one of my other bikes, and I want to put it on this one. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But yeah, this is the ultimate, because one of the problems about riding at night is, number one, being seen. Now, Heybike's done a lot of stuff, and they've given you a lot of options on these things for free, a lot of accessories, including the front and back lights. But if somebody's coming at you from the side, it still may be difficult to see you. Now, this bag has a little bit of reflective material on it. Some tires have reflective material. These don't, because they're off-road tires. So what this will do is now your tires will be illuminated at night, and people can see you coming from the side. So that solves that problem, because you need to be seen, because a lot of people who drive cars don't pay attention to bikes, you know. They've got their eyes and their radar wired for cars only. You're lucky if pedestrians are seen too. But this just gives you that next level of visual, where you can be seen. You just need to be seen at night, right?
Yeah.
And
you absolutely could mount a basket on the back if you wanted to and tote your cat around.
you can, yeah, a lot of people do that. We saw somebody today had their dog on the back of their, and you can. Actually, this has the 4 posts in the front where you could put a front basket. Some people will put their toy poodles in the front. You can put a basket. Actually, Heybike does offer that front basket as an option, but they give you the rear rack for free, which is really nice. And another thing I'm thinking about doing is on our cruise next week is I'm going to wear this. I'm going to wrap it around me at night when we go for pictures, and I'll be the first illuminated person. I'll be like Green Man Group. What do you think?
Pass.
Does it look good? It looks like a robot, don't it? Like an android?
Lovely.
I do, yeah. So there's so many fun things you could do with this for Halloween or whatever, but it's predominantly meant for a bicycle, for your bike wheels. I was going to wrap it around the dog, but I don't think she'd be real happy about that. It's got an on and off switch, and again, you can get this in any color. If your favorite color is red, you can get them in just red. You can get white for ultimate visualization. But I just kind of digging this because it changes colors. So if somebody's fixed on a red light, it's not going to be red forever, and now it's changed, and it's going to get somebody's attention at night. Say, hey, whoa, what's going on there? You know what I mean?
All right, you brought it up.
What's that?
You're going on a cruise next week.
Oops.
Go ahead and fill them in, because they're asking questions.
Well, Felicia booked a cruise on Wonder of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's newest and latest cruise ship, which is also the biggest cruise ship in the world. And it's their first sailing from Fort Lauderdale, which is happening next Friday. And we will be broadcasting live here on Amazon Live. We're going to do a cruise show. A lot of people are into our cruise stuff on our socials, and they're like, well, what do we need for a cruise? Because cruising is coming back. Just like spring's coming and you need to buy e-bikes for spring, cruise season is coming back. We're finally starting to get to a point where it's almost perfectly safe to cruise. It'll still be a little while. There's still some precautions, but we're starting to get back to a little semblance of normal. So we're going to broadcast live on Amazon Live, from our cruise room. We did book a suite. So we will talk about some things that are good to bring with you on a cruise, because I think a lot of people are going to start cruising again this summer. It really is the ultimate vacation.
It is.
It's all inclusive, all your food's there, all your non-alcoholic drinks are included, all the entertainment you could ever want is there, plus the excursions. You wake up in a different place every morning. Yeah, that's great.
Rick and Rod had a bike question.
Yes, Rick and Rod.
Does the bike have good stopping power for emergency stops?
Absolutely. These 180 centimeter disc brakes will stop on a dime, assuming they're fully tuned. Now, this bike, again, comes fully built and fully assembled from the factory, and they've done a really good job. You stopped on this thing, right? You're able to stop really quick.
Okay.
The disc brakes make all the difference in the world, because the rubber brakes, the traditional brakes, will actually pull forward. But these remain stationary. You've got 2 pads. They're just like car brakes. They've got little pads, and they close like this. So there's really nowhere for them to go. And they're locked onto the frame too and adjusted perfectly. So yes.
Back brakes?
What's that? Front and back disc brakes. Yeah, absolutely. You really need that once you start hitting those speeds above 15, 17 miles an hour. You're going to need some reliable stopping power. That's a great question.
Calling in life. I truly don't know what she does for a living.
What did she ask now?
She says, sell Royal Caribbean a Heybike fleet for excursion rentals.
Oh! We could ride on the boat.
She is smart.
She is smart. That's a great thing. I'm sure they do have e-bike rentals. I know they have them all over the place.
We'll have to look for them when we go.
We're not too far from Cocoa Beach, and I think we passed 3 places on our ride this morning that rent electric bicycles and scooters. So it is big. It's getting bigger. This is you could be at the forefront if you're a trendsetter in your community, in your neighborhood. This is the next big thing, ladies and gentlemen. Electric bicycles. And the fact that older people like us, that we can ride further and faster than we could ride a normal bike at our age, you know what I mean? I mean, when you're 20, you can ride around anything. You go up hills at 30-degree angles. You don't care about that. But once you get a little bit older, you don't have that stamina and that energy anymore to do it. And that really opens up a whole new world of exercise. I mean, how much fun do you have? We take our Saturday morning rides on the beach now. It's great, isn't it?
Yes.
So much fun. And you're getting out in the sunshine, so you're getting some vitamin D on your skin. You're having some fun. If you don't want to pedal, you don't have to. Just hit the throttle. And if you're not going that far, you really don't have to worry about that battery anxiety. Or take it out to dinner a couple nights a week, right?
Vanessa the barber is checking in.
Hey, Vanessa.
Says, hi, Fresh. Where's Felicia? I miss you guys.
She's right behind the camera, and she won't turn around because she's mean. She's mean as we miss you, too. It's good to see you again. We're going to start doing some more lives. We're trying to shake it up a little bit. We didn't have... we want to do some different things on Amazon Live. So we're trying to work with the people at Amazon Live, but I'm not getting any response. So I want to know what's going on, and I want to change some things. We want to do some fashion shows and some things that have never been done here before. So we're going to do that on this channel.
Speaking of
in the next
fashion
couple
shows,
weeks.
the last item in your carousel is fashion related.
What's that?
Your bike shorts.
I'm too sexy for my pants, too sexy for my pants, so sexy. I don't know how that song goes. Look at these. Now these are also reflective too, so if you're riding at night, they can see on the side. If you flash a flashlight at these things will glow. It has a little thing in the back. It does have a tremendous amount of padding. I can't show you. What's really nice about these is it has really deep pockets. The new version of these pants, you could fit a big iPhone 13 or 12 Pro in here. Some of the older pants, you couldn't do it. They were too short because the phones were smaller. They were a little shorter. So now you can put your big phone in here and whatever you want to put in there. Stop eating me. I'm not delicious. And what's nice about these pants is that if you do a lot of riding, do a lot of serious riding, a lot of pedaling, they prevent chafing because they're form-fitting, and they've got this little rubber thing underneath here too, so they just clip against your body. And I think they just look amazing, don't they?
Yeah, lovely.
I'm going to model. You should see the fashion show I had set up. I'm still going to do it here on Amazon Live. I'm just trying to work out the details. But yeah, it won't have bike shorts in it, okay? All right, so is that all we have here?
That's it.
Wow, it was so good seeing you guys again. Stay-at-home mom, it's good to see you. Vanessa the barber, Doris, Hector. I mean, Reek and Rod, it's so good to see you guys. So thanks for popping in. Anybody else who popped in? Plenty of information on Amazon's website and our carousel about all the things we talked about. The Heybike Mars, again, one of my favorite electric bikes on the market. It has so many extra add-ons and no additional charge. And again, foldable. Put it in the back of your car, your SUV, your truck. Take it anywhere you want. That's a game changer, right?
Somebody says, I like the bike. It reminds me of the mopeds everyone rode when we were kids.
Yes, mopeds.
True,
It's
right?
like, yeah, like a moped and scooter. It's about the same shape. That's actually a great analogy. That's actually right.
Doris wants to know, do the shorts come in ramen?
I don't know, but Felicia could probably do that with vinyl. Do you have ramen vinyl?
I probably could work something
You could
out.
figure that out. You made this shirt, didn't you? This Heybike shirt right before the show.
I did.
Heybike.
I did.
Heybike.
I did.
Heybike. I think you could probably find these shirts on their website.
I'm sure you can.
And hats and all those accessories. All right, well, my name is Fresh for Felicia. Thank you for joining us today. And hit that follow button if you haven't done that already. It's down here, up here, over the side. I don't know where it is these days. And we'll have some new shows doing some different things that probably have never been done on Amazon Live before. I have a tremendous amount of ideas. I have a background in that kind of thing, but we're going to do it. It's going to be great, and you guys are going to enjoy it because we like to put the entertainment. We like to amp up the entertainment on these shows, don't we?
Yes.
We do. We do. But thank you. We love you guys. Big hugs. All right, she's going to say it.
All right. Bye, Felicia.
I knew she was going to say that. Bye, guys. Much love.